You are stepping into a new chapter of your life, not because time has passed, but because your awareness has changed. This is not about becoming wealthy someday in the future. It is about realizing that the version of you who already lives in abundance has always existed within you. Deep inside your mind is a world where every possibility already lives, and the life you desire is waiting for your acceptance. Wealth is not something distant that you chase endlessly. It begins the moment you stop identifying with struggle and start identifying with abundance. The moment you think, speak, and move like the person who already possesses freedom and success, your reality begins to shift. Your imagination is not fantasy. It is the creative space where your future is formed before it appears in the physical world. Every great achievement, every fortune, every empire first existed as an unseen vision held by someone who believed in it completely. In the same way, your outer life reflects the assumptions you hold within yourself. If you continue to focus on limitation, your world will continue to mirror limitation. But when you consistently hold the feeling of prosperity, confidence, and success, the outer world must eventually align with that inner state. You must learn to live from the feeling of already having what you desire instead of constantly longing for it. Imagine yourself financially free. Feel the calmness, the confidence, and the peace that would naturally come with it. Walk through life as someone who knows there is always enough. Speak differently. Think differently. Make decisions from certainty instead of fear. This is not pretending or acting. It is embodying a new identity. The world responds to the state you consistently occupy. When you accept yourself as abundant, opportunities, people, and resources begin moving toward you naturally because your energy no longer matches lack. Most people remain trapped by appearances, believing only what they can currently see. But the visible world is only a reflection of old thoughts and past beliefs. If you keep reacting to present circumstances, you stay connected to the same cycle. Real transformation happens when you trust the unseen reality you are creating within yourself, even before physical evidence appears. Faith is the key to this process. Faith means remaining loyal to the vision you have accepted in your imagination without constantly searching for proof. Just like a seed grows beneath the soil long before it becomes visible, your assumptions begin shaping reality long before results appear. You do not dig up a planted seed every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process. In the same way, once you accept abundance internally, you must stop depending on external validation. Your responsibility is not to force outcomes or control every detail. Your responsibility is to persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Return to that inner state repeatedly until it becomes natural to you. The more natural it feels, the more inevitable its appearance becomes in your life. Persistence is not struggle. It is steady belief. It is continuing to choose the reality you want regardless of temporary appearances. There will be moments when doubt tries to pull you back into fear and limitation, but your power lies in redirecting your attention toward the truth you have chosen to live by. You are not meant to beg life for success. You are meant to awaken to the creative power within yourself. The version of you who is wealthy, confident, and fulfilled is not separate from you. It is already present within your consciousness, waiting to be fully accepted. Once you stop waiting for permission and start living as though it is already done, everything begins to change. Your energy shifts. Your posture changes. Your decisions become aligned with certainty rather than anxiety. You stop chasing and start allowing. The moment you truly accept your desire is already fulfilled, life begins reorganizing itself around that belief. Doors open, opportunities appear, and circumstances transform not because of force, but because your inner world has changed first. This is the law of creation. What you consistently feel to be true eventually becomes your reality. So stop measuring your life only through your current circumstances. Instead, hold firmly to the vision within you. Feel the abundance now. Think from success now. Walk in confidence now. The outer world will always catch up to the identity you continuously embody. Your millionaire phase does not begin when money arrives. It begins the moment you realize abundance was within you all along and you finally choose to live from that truth. The moment you truly shift within, your entire way of moving through life begins to change. You stop trying to convince the world of who you are because deep inside you already know. Even if nothing around you has visibly changed yet, you no longer allow appearances to control your belief. Your finances may still look the same. Opportunities may seem delayed. Results may not have fully arrived. But none of that shakes your inner certainty anymore. You continue walking in the reality you have already accepted in your mind. You carry the feeling of success within you. You move with the calm confidence of someone whose prayers have already been answered. This is not about acting or pretending to be someone else. Pretending feels forced and empty. True embodiment feels natural, grounded, and real. You are not trying to become wealthy anymore. You are accepting that the transformation has already happened within you first. Think about how a person behaves when they already know they have received what they desired. There is no desperation in them, no rushing, no anxiety, no constant searching for proof. They move through life with quiet assurance. That energy alone changes everything. When your inner state changes, people respond differently to you. New doors begin to open. Opportunities appear naturally. Solutions arise in unexpected ways. Not because you forced the universe to respond, but because your internal assumptions created a new reflection in the outer world. Life mirrors back the state you consistently live from. If you want abundance to appear in your life, you must begin by assuming abundance already belongs to you. Let that belief influence your choices, your conversations, your posture, your energy, and the way you enter every room. You are no longer waiting for evidence because your belief itself becomes the evidence. The truth is simple. Your millionaire phase does not begin someday in the future. It begins the moment you awaken to the realization that abundance already exists within you. Wealth is first created in the unseen world of imagination before it ever appears physically. That is why your responsibility is not to chase endlessly, but to assume the feeling of already having what you desire. Feel it fully. Persist in it daily. Live as though it is already done. The outer world can only reflect what you consistently hold within yourself. Once you truly embody that inner reality, life begins reorganizing itself around your new state of consciousness. You stop begging, you stop doubting, you simply know. And from that knowing, your entire reality starts shifting. There is incredible power hidden in the words you repeat to yourself every day. Words are not just sounds, they become instructions impressed upon the subconscious mind. When spoken with feeling and belief, they shape your identity and influence the reality you experience. The real power is not in the words alone, but in the assumption behind them. When you repeatedly declare something with conviction, you move yourself from the emotional state of lack into the emotional state of already having. That emotional shift changes everything. It changes the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you respond to life. Repetition plants new beliefs deep into the subconscious, and eventually those beliefs begin expressing themselves through your outer experiences. Your subconscious mind accepts whatever you consistently impress upon it. It does not argue or analyze. It simply responds to what you repeatedly feel to be true. If you constantly dwell on fear, limitation, or scarcity, your life will continue reflecting those states. But if you begin consistently affirming abundance, confidence, success, and freedom, your subconscious starts building reality around those assumptions instead. This is why your inner dialogue matters so much. Every thought is a seed. Every belief is shaping the garden of your life. If you keep planting doubt, worry, and fear, your reality will continue producing struggle. But when you intentionally plant thoughts of prosperity, gratitude, and certainty, your life begins to flourish in new ways. To truly transform your reality, you must stop living from the state of wanting and begin living from the state of already having. Most people remain trapped in the vibration of hope and longing. They constantly focus on what is missing, which only reinforces separation from their desire. But living from the end means mentally stepping into the fulfilled version of yourself now. Feel the relief, peace, gratitude, and confidence you would naturally experience if your dream had already become real. See yourself as the version of you who already lives that life. Walk like them, think like them, speak like them. This is not fantasy. It is alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and identity all align with the reality you desire, the outer world begins shifting to match that inner state. The key is persistence. You cannot allow temporary appearances to pull you back into old thinking. There will be moments where doubt appears. There will be delays. But persistence means returning again and again to the feeling of your fulfilled desire. The unseen reality you hold within yourself is more important than current circumstances. Eventually, what feels natural internally becomes visible externally. The future you desire already exists in imagination. Your job is to remain faithful to it until reality catches up. At the same time, manifestation also requires surrender. Once you plant the seed of your desire through belief, imagination, and feeling, you must release your obsession with controlling how it will happen. Detachment is not giving up. It is trusting. It is allowing life to unfold without anxiety. The more tightly you cling to outcomes, the more resistance you create. But when you relax into certainty and continue living from the feeling of already having, you create space for things to flow naturally. Opportunities, ideas, and connections begin arriving in ways you may never have expected. Your role is not to force reality. Your role is to remain aligned with the inner state of fulfillment while trusting the process. Gratitude becomes one of the strongest forces during this journey. Gratitude is not something you wait to feel after success arrives. It is something you practice before physical evidence appears. When you feel grateful in advance, you move into the vibration of already having. You stop focusing on absence and begin focusing on abundance. Gratitude tells your subconscious that wealth, success, and blessings are already part of your life. The more grateful you become, the more reasons life gives you to feel grateful. Gratitude expands your awareness and lifts you into a state where abundance feels natural rather than distant. Remember this deeply. Manifestation is not created by words alone. It is created through feeling. Feeling is the bridge between imagination and reality. Most people wait for life to change before allowing themselves to feel secure, loved, successful, or free. But the truth works in the opposite direction. You must first feel those emotions internally before the outer world can reflect them back to you. Feeling is not a response to circumstances. Feeling is the cause of them. The emotional state you consistently live in becomes the foundation of your experiences. When you feel abundance within yourself now, you begin shaping a world that mirrors that feeling back to you. The moment you truly understand that your inner world shapes everything around you, your entire life begins to change. What you repeatedly feel, assume, and believe within yourself slowly becomes the reality you experience outside. Fear, lack, struggle, and delay are not permanent truths. They are reflections of old states of mind that can be replaced the moment you choose a new inner identity. Instead of waiting for success, love, freedom, or wealth to appear before believing in them, you must first embody those feelings internally. Live as the version of yourself who already has what they desire. Think from fulfillment instead of longing. Feel abundance instead of absence. The outer world is only a mirror, constantly reflecting the dominant assumptions you carry inside. Every achievement, every transformation, and every breakthrough is first created in imagination before it appears in physical form. Imagination is not fantasy, it is the birthplace of reality. When you persist in the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled, your subconscious begins aligning your thoughts, actions, opportunities, and circumstances with that belief. The process does not require force, struggle, or obsession. It requires faith, consistency, and emotional conviction. Even when current circumstances seem unchanged, you must remain loyal to the vision within, because reality always responds to the state you occupy most consistently. The world cannot permanently deny what you deeply accept as true about yourself. If you continue identifying with limitation, life will keep reflecting limitation. But the moment you shift into the consciousness of confidence, abundance, peace, love, and certainty, the outer world gradually reorganizes to match it. This is why persistence matters. Not desperate wishing, but calm inner knowing. Your task is not to control how things happen, but to remain faithful to the feeling that they already have. The version of you who is successful, wealthy, fulfilled, and free already exists within your imagination, waiting to be accepted as your new identity. Once you stop reacting to appearances and begin creating from within, you reclaim your power. You realize you are not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of your experience. Life responds to who you believe you are. Every thought becomes a seed, every feeling a command, every assumption a blueprint for reality. So instead of asking when your desires will arrive, begin living from the certainty that they are already yours. Walk with confidence, speak with conviction, and nurture the inner state you wish to see reflected. In time, the world will have no choice but to echo your transformation, because what is accepted inwardly must eventually appear outwardly. Most people spend their lives waiting for proof before they believe, waiting for success before they feel confident, waiting for love before they feel worthy, and waiting for money before they allow themselves to feel abundant. But the deeper truth is that life does not change because of what you see on the outside. It changes because of what you consistently accept within yourself. Your outer world is only a reflection of your dominant inner state. Every experience, every result, and every circumstance begins first in consciousness before it ever appears physically. When you truly understand this, you stop living from lack and begin living from fulfillment. Instead of asking, when will my life change? You begin asking, who am I choosing to be right now? Because the version of you that already has what you desire thinks differently, feels differently, speaks differently, and moves through life with certainty rather than fear. The secret is not struggling harder or chasing endlessly. The secret is learning to feel as though your desire is already real within you. Your imagination is not fantasy. It is the creative power that shapes your reality. Every achievement, every invention, every relationship, and every success first existed in someone's inner world before it appeared in the outer one. The same law applies to your life. If you can see it clearly in your mind and feel it deeply in your heart, you begin setting the process of creation into motion. The moment you emotionally accept something as true, your subconscious mind begins organizing your life around that belief. To live from the end means you stop treating your dreams like distant possibilities and begin treating them like present truths within your consciousness. You no longer say, I hope this happens someday. Instead, you quietly embody the feeling that it is already unfolding. You walk with confidence, make decisions from a place of abundance instead of fear, and carry yourself as someone who already knows life is working in their favor. This does not mean ignoring reality in a careless way. It means refusing to let temporary appearances define your future. Circumstances are often delayed reflections of old assumptions. If you continue reacting emotionally to what you currently see, you remain tied to the same patterns. But when you persist in a new inner state despite appearances, the outer world eventually has no choice but to catch up. Think of planting a seed in the ground. Once planted, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process. Manifestation works the same way. Your assumption is the seed. Your faith and persistence are the nourishment. The visible results may take time, but the unseen movement begins the moment you truly accept your desire internally. Many people fail because they give up too soon. They allow doubts, fear, and external conditions to pull them back into old thinking. But persistence is what transforms imagination into reality. You must continue returning to the feeling of fulfillment until it becomes natural to you. Not forced, not desperate, calm, steady, and certain. When you live this way, your actions also change naturally. You stop acting from panic and scarcity. You become more aligned, more focused, and more open to opportunities. People respond differently to you. New paths appear. Circumstances begin shifting in ways you could not have predicted because life always mirrors the state you consistently hold within. The truth is, you are not separate from the life you desire. The peace, abundance, love, confidence, and success you seek are not outside of you waiting to arrive one day. They begin as states of consciousness that you must first claim internally. Creation starts within long before it appears externally. So stop waiting for evidence before you believe in yourself. Stop asking the world for permission to feel fulfilled. Choose now to embody the version of yourself that already has what you desire. Think from that place. Feel from that place. Live from that place. Persist in it regardless of appearances. Because the moment your inner world changes, your outer world begins rearranging itself to reflect it. Everything changes when you finally realize that the power was never outside of you. It has always been within you, waiting for you to believe deeply enough to live as though your desired reality is already yours. The greatest transformation in life does not begin with circumstances, luck, or external opportunities. It begins in the silent world within you. This entire message is a reminder that you are far more powerful than you have been taught to believe. Your thoughts, assumptions, emotions, and imagination are not meaningless reactions to life. They are the very forces shaping the reality you experience every day. The outer world is not the creator of your destiny, but the reflection of your inner state. Once you truly understand this, you stop living as someone who waits for life to improve and begin living as the conscious creator of your experience. You no longer chase fulfillment in the future because you realize fulfillment must first exist within you before it can ever appear around you. The secret has never been about forcing, struggling, begging, or endlessly searching outside yourself for validation, wealth, love, or success. The secret is learning to dwell in the feeling that your desire is already real. To think from the end instead of thinking about the end. To carry within yourself the emotional certainty that what you seek already belongs to you. When you embody the state of abundance, peace, confidence, love, or success internally, life begins rearranging itself to mirror that inner conviction. This is why imagination is not fantasy but creative power. Every visible result in the world first existed invisibly in the mind and heart before it took form. Your imagination, when combined with belief and feeling, becomes the blueprint through which reality is shaped. Most people remain trapped because they continue reacting to appearances. They allow temporary circumstances to define who they are. They wait for proof before they believe. They wait for results before they feel worthy. But this speech reveals a deeper law. The outer world is always delayed. What you see today is often the echo of yesterday's assumptions. If you wish to change your life, you cannot remain emotionally attached to old conditions. You must persist in the vision of the person you choose to become, even when the world around you has not yet changed. That persistence is faith, not blind hope, but inner certainty. It is the calm confidence that what has been accepted within must eventually appear without. The power of feeling is at the center of all creation. Thoughts alone are not enough. The universe responds to emotional conviction. When you repeatedly feel gratitude, joy, peace, confidence, and fulfillment, as though your desire is already achieved, you impress that reality upon your subconscious mind. And once the subconscious accepts something as true, life begins moving in alignment with it. Opportunities appear. People enter your life. Ideas come naturally. Doors open unexpectedly. Not because of chance, but because your inner state is shaping your external experience. Reality begins bending around the beliefs you consistently hold. To live from the end is to stop seeing yourself as incomplete. It is to realize that what you seek is already present in the unseen realm of consciousness. Wealth is not merely money, it is a state of abundance within. Love is not something to beg for, it is a state of being worthy and connected. Confidence is not granted by achievements, it is an identity you choose to embody. The moment you stop identifying with lack and begin identifying with fulfillment, your energy changes. Your actions become inspired instead of desperate. Your presence becomes magnetic because you are no longer trying to force life to give you something you believe you do not have. Instead, you begin expressing the reality you already feel within yourself. So walk through life with the understanding that your inner world is sacred. Guard your thoughts carefully. Speak to yourself with belief instead of limitation. Imagine boldly. Feel deeply. Persist with confidence. Stop asking when your desires will arrive and begin living as though they already belong to you. Because the moment you fully accept a new identity within yourself, reality begins the process of reflecting it back to you. The world cannot help but mirror the state you consistently embody. And perhaps the most beautiful truth of all is this: you were never meant to spend your life chasing fulfillment outside yourself. You were meant to awaken to the realization that the power, abundance, love, peace, and success you seek have always existed within you. The unseen world within is the true source of everything. Once you align yourself with that truth, life changes from the inside out in ways that feel almost miraculous. Not because magic suddenly appeared, but because you finally understood the law that had been working all along.